The year is 1929. An international tournament, an elite event in Carlsbad begins. And there is one participant in this tournament that's very unusual. It's the youngest participant, just 23 years old. But what's most unusual is the fact that she is a woman. Vera Menchik. By that time, she already had under the belt some wins over chess masters from across the world, male. There were actually no female chess masters at that time. But still, everybody was skeptical about her participation, and an Austrian chess master, Albert Becker, before the tournament joked, "Let's agree that whoever loses to Vera will be accepted into the Vera Menchik club." So he proposed to create such a club, and in the third round of the event, Vera Menchik defeated Albert Becker. Later on, many renowned chess masters of that time, and even grandmasters, were accepted into that club, including the world chess champion Max Euler. Vera Menchik is the first legendary female chess player, the first one to be awarded the title of the world female chess champion. She held that title for the record time from 1927 till 1944. She was a true legend. She could fight the best male chess players of that time, and this was sensational. She was born in the Russian Empire, and she sadly passed away in 1944 in London because, sadly, of the Nazi bombardment, and she died undefeated, just like the male chess champion of that time, Alexander Alekhine. And after her death, several years, there was no female world chess champion title because everybody was so sure that no one can take her place. This video will be about the best and the strongest ever, the most legendary female chess players of all time. I will not go through the whole list of female world chess champions. Some players in this list, by the way, that I've composed have not received this title. I will explain why I included them. There will be 7 legendary female chess players. So let's dive into this. The first one was Vera Menchik. The second one's name is... Let's take a look at this.
Tall and important player by their standards. The only unusual thing about her really is her sex. And even that's not unique in Russia. There's Nona Gaprindashvili. She's the female world champion and has never faced men.
Netflix, do you have a fact-checking team? This is so weird because you invest so much money into this TV series, and it's a great one. Garry Kasparov was one of the experts advising you, but you did not basically check the facts. Nona Gaprindashvili, the female chess player from Georgia, from the USSR, was actually the first woman ever to obtain the title of Grandmaster, that is, male Grandmaster. Before that, it was called like this. Now it's the male prefix is not added, but no one among females even dared to take this title before. And you think that she didn't play male players? Let's take a look at one of the games. Okay, so this is the game from the 1962 Chess Championship of Georgia, where Nona was the only female participant. All other players were men. And she's playing the local master, Alexander Blagidze. And let me tell you, this game lasted just 15 moves. Let's take a look. So we have the Sicilian defense. This is something that I also sometimes play, but usually without f4. Modern theory thinks that f4 is premature here, but still, okay, it's all normal. White is using this cagey setup, but wait for it. So players have exchanged knights. Now this knight has to retreat, drop back here. Queen h4 is a check. And here, most players would automatically respond by g3, kicking the queen back. But Nona sacrifices a pawn. She moves the knight that used to defend this pawn. So her opponent takes this pawn. Now d3 attacks the queen with the bishop. The idea behind this pawn sacrifice was just to win time, gain tempi, harassing the queen. Queen drops back. Now castles, now the f-file is open, which is also nice for the attack. Now you will see some impressive stuff. Knight e7, bishop g5. So now black cannot castle because the king is defending the knight, so something has to happen before castling. Knight c6 rotates, and now top engine move, and an impressive move. Knight h5. Knight h5 attacks the bishop, but what if black just takes the knight? What next? Another brilliant move. Actually, in this game, Nona makes 3 brilliant moves in a row, according to the modern engine. Rook takes f7, sacrificing the rook. So she sacrificed first the knight, then the rook. And if black takes the rook, there is checkmate in 7 moves. There's a check, then there is a check like this. and black's king is getting mated in several moves. So of course the rook cannot be taken. Instead, what black does is goes queen e5, trying to defend the bishop and attack that bishop. But here there is another brilliant sacrifice, rook f5. White insists, another brilliant move, white insists on black taking, and here black resigned after just 15 moves of play, because if black takes like this, this is just checkmate in 2, because black king can go just here, and this is a checkmate. And otherwise, after rook f5, the queen is hanging, and this is hanging, so black has to resign. So Nona Gaprindashvili apparently played a lot of games against male players, and she defeated lots of prominent chess players of that time, attaining the rank of Grandmaster. Another impressive achievement of Nona was the fact that she was the women's world chess champion. She took the chess crown in 1962. She won the match against the previous champion, and she held the crown until 1978. Almost a record, 16 years. Only Vera Menchik held the crown for a longer period of time. And what fascinates me is the fact that during this time, 1962, 1978, if we take a look at the male chess champions, we see that there have been Botvinnik, Petrosian, Spassky, Fischer, and Karpov. So 5 chess champions have changed during that time, and Nona stayed on the top. Wow, just wow. And she's still playing chess, by the way. Recently, in 2022, she won the World Chess Championship among women over 65 years old. This is crazy. She still is playing chess, and she's still doing it brilliantly. So shame on you, Netflix. Next time, do your fact-checking work. The next player is Maia Chiburdanidze, the player who defeated Nona Gaprindashvili while being just 17 years old. She broke lots of records. She also became the grandmaster among men and women, not just women. And she also held the crown for a long time until 1991. So 1978 until 1991, a long time. And she broke into top 50 in the world among men and women. No woman in the history of the game has ever achieved this except one other woman that I'll speak a little bit later about. And you will be impressed. But first of all, a couple of crazy facts about Maia. Maia learned to read when she was just 3 years old. At 5, she already could solve complex mathematical equations with 4-digit numbers, which is crazy. I still cannot do this. And she did this while being just 5 years old. She was a genius. She did not actually study chess much. She did not read many chess books. She did not learn openings. She was just naturally gifted, and boy, she played brilliant chess. Let me show you one short game of her. So this is the position after the opening. She's playing against Semyon Dvoris, a strong player. I think he was a grandmaster among men. And here he makes a mistake. After the opening, he goes queen b6, which seems logical, attacking this knight. But there is a crazy sequence of moves that refutes this idea. Knight d5. First of all, the knight attacks the queen. It can be taken, and this other knight as well can be taken. But if you take that one, then I take here, and then I take here, and the queen will be attacked by the rook, and it's bad for black. So black does not take that knight. Black decides to take this one because black did not see the point of this combination. What should you do here with white? Okay, you can take with check, of course, discard check with the rook, but black can just go king d8, and yes, white has some compensation for the sacrificed knight, but nothing too crazy. But instead of taking with discard check, the move that Maia Chiburdanidze finds here is amazing. It's knight to c6. Just wow. Sacrificing the second knight. If you take with the queen, of course you lose the queen because there is a discovery check, and then you take the queen. So black takes with the bishop, and the attack continues. There is a check here. The bishop blocks. Now white takes the bishop. Now white is down just one piece. Still significant material disadvantage, but the attack continues. Knight c5, bishop takes, trading this important knight because it was instrumental in the attack, and also black cannot recapture with the bishop because the bishop is pinned, so black has to recapture with the pawn, spoiling the pawn structure. And now a very strong move, bishop f5, preventing long castling by black and also completely suffocating black's position. So black is already close to losing, even though black is up a piece. Queen c7 drops back, trying to defend this bishop and probably somehow escape with the king. But now b4, giving no respite to black, because every move Maia is attacking something in the position of the opponent. The knight drops back. Now queen h5, again an attack, because this is a pin now, and white wants to take this knight when recapture by pawn will be impossible due to the spin. So knight g7 retreats and attacks the queen and the bishop, but here bishop d7 is unleashed with a check, king f8, and now queen h6, another pin. So white is trying to pin all the pieces of black here, and take a look at this rook. This is miserable, a miserable rook. It can never get out because it's blocked by its own pieces. This bishop also is miserable. It cannot get out. This knight is also like not moving anywhere because of the pin. So practically black is playing down a lot of material, even though black is up material. So d5, trying to at least activate the bishop, but the rook just sacrifices itself for this bishop. So another sacrifice now, sacrifice of the rook. Great move. Actually, Maia calculated everything here. She checks the black king. The black king has to retreat. Now this pin on the knight is renewed. Now queen takes f6, threatens this check. So the king drops back. Now rook e7. Now the rook joins the action on the 7th rank. Black is up a rook, but this rook, is it really felt? No, it's not. It's not playing any role, and the attack is too strong. Rook f8 defends the f7 pawn because it was hanging with a checkmate. But now another beautiful combination, bishop e6. If you take the bishop, I'll take the knight with a checkmate. Also the queen is hanging, everything is hanging. Black has to give up the queen. Take the bishop, but now c7, I want to promote, and after h5, sacrificing the queen, Maia Chiburdanidze wins this game, because once black takes, white makes another queen and wins everything, and black, even though black can block, but this is a completely losing endgame, because the queen is much stronger than a rook and a knight here. So black resigns, and this is an impressive show of dominance of this legendary player who held the chess crown also for many years. The next player that I'm about to tell you about has a fascinating biography. I've recently read the book by her Rebel Queen, and I will have her as the guest of my podcast. It will be out in about a week, so drop a comment if you're waiting for this. Judit Polgar, the legend who is the product, if you may say so, of an unusual experiment by her father, who decided to raise child prodigies out of his 3 daughters. And all the 3 daughters, Susan, Sophia, and Judith, became legends. Actually, we will speak about Judith in the next entry of this list, because she is the GOAT of female chess, but Susan is also one of the best female chess players ever. She was the eldest sister, so she was the first one who got the training by her father. Her father had a very creative approach to this. He introduced Susan to chess when she was just like 3 or 4 years old, and she did it in such a playful manner to not like make her study chess, but to do everything in his power to make her love the game, to make it so that she is always asking for him to train her, that it's so interesting, so exciting, because he used many pedagogical techniques that are also very relevant to this day. Great father, great daughters of him, and Susan became the world chess champion among females. And even long before that, she became one of the strongest ever female chess players. She broke lots of records. She became the youngest ever chess player to obtain a FIDE rating, official rating. She demolished adult competitors in competitions when she was just like 10, 12 years old. She started beating masters, grandmasters. She obtained the title of grandmaster, of course. And when she was just 15 years old, she already became the top-rated female chess player in the world. And let me show you one of her fascinating games. So again, this is played against a male chess player, Peter Hardixay. And we get this Benoni defense opening. They trade. We skip the opening because the fun part starts here. Queen gives a check. Now queen drops to b3. Now this is an important tactic to use because if the queen goes to b3 immediately here, this pawn is defended. But she induced first the bishop blocking the check, and then she draws back, and now this pawn is hanging. And here her opponent decided to go for complications, and he did not survive the complications. It's a very beautiful game. Take a look. So he went bishop g4. He decided, I'll give up this pawn, but I'll take here. I'll have an attack. But Susan calculated everything much better. So she took the rook, she took this pawn. Now the idea is that if we take the bishop, black takes here, and then takes here with a check, and in this position black is winning actually. But of course Susan does not do that. Instead of taking this, she overprotects the knight using her rook. And now this is a threat, the f2 pawn, but just rook c2, calm, cool, and collected. Defending everything, trading the rook for the two pieces. Now white is completely winning, but white does this in style. So what would you play here in this position? Many moves work, but the flashiest one is bishop b5 check. This looks impossible. Black can just take the bishop, but then rook e1 check. So the idea of this bishop sacrifice was to clear the road for the rook. It's called a clearance sacrifice. So just giving up the bishop for this impressive attack. The king has to run. Now bishop h6, another check. The king has to run. And again, you see this rook is not playing any role. Rook e7, another brilliant sacrifice. You cannot take the rook because this will be a checkmate in a couple of moves. So bishop d7, trying to somehow hold on. But now queen sacrifice, queen takes b8. And if black takes, which is what happens, now knight e4 seals the deal and black resigns. Even though black is up a full queen, but knight f6 checkmate is unstoppable because the bishop and the knight create this mating net around the king. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful win. One of the many wins in the illustrious career of Susan Polgar. Do not miss the podcast. Let's dive into the part on the next participant of my list of the greatest chess players of all time. And this is the greatest chess player, female chess player of all time, the GOAT, Judit Polgar. So Judit Polgar, being the GOAT of female chess, never actually even became the world chess champion among females, unlike her elder sister. Why? Because she never even played in those championships. Because she was so strong, it did not make sense. She was at her peak, top 8 in the world among men, female, everyone. And nobody came close, even like she was top 8 and the next woman on the list was like top 100 or something like this. So this is a crazy gap in skill. She defeated 11 world chess champions. All of them were men. That is Carlsen, Karpov, Kasparov, Anand, Smyslov, Topalov, Ponomarev, Spassky, Kramnik, Khalifman, Kasimdzhanov. So crazy list, right? Her peak rating is 2735. Top 8 in the world, and she's the only female chess player in the world, in the history, that participated in the final stage of the World Chess Championship among men, or today it's called Open World Chess Championship, because theoretically a woman can participate, but it was only just Judit Polgar, the only one who managed to do this. I'm sure in future there will be more women inspired by her and by other players from my list. Judit Polgar broke many records. She became the youngest ever grandmaster at the time, among both boys and girls. She broke the record of Fischer. She became a GM at 14. At 12 years old, she was already top 50 in the world, men and women. So top 50 in the world at 12-year-old girl. This is crazy. And when she played for the male title, it was a match tournament in Argentina. Top 8 players in the world were competing, except for Kramnik. Unfortunately, she did not do well in that one, but she played one of her most brilliant games, defeating the former FIDE World Chess Champion that I'm about to show you. So we have the Sicilian defense, and this is the Najdorf variation, very, very sharp. And here we have the so-called Scheveningen setup for black, very trendy, and g4 goes for attack. Judit Polgar is known as Tal in a skirt. Many people called her because she's very, very attacking, very creative, loves sacrifices. So here she sacrifices a bunch of material. So knight f5, g6 attacks the knight, and turns out the knight is not going to move, just g5, disregarding the attack. Takes, now white is down one knight, one piece. d5, Many people would just take here, but no, queen f3. Judit Polgar does not need this material. d4, now another piece is probably going to die in these complications. Long castles, knight d7, blocking this file, so that black can take next and not lose the queen. So white just sacrifices the bishop. Now white is down 2 pieces. Bishop g7, white can take at least 1 piece back. No, white doesn't take back. White instead develops the rook to aid in the attack. King f8, queen e3, queen e7. Of course, black dreams of trading the queens because black is up 2 minor pieces. White does not trade the queens. h6, and now finally one knight disappears. Now white is down 1 piece, and white is already like crushing, close to winning in this position, because rook d8 check is very important. Now the knight blocks, and now bishop b5. Again, you see a similar tactic, a similar clearance sacrifice. Family tradition, I would say. Both sisters sacrificed the bishops on b5 in a similar manner. And now rook e1 adds another attack on this file, and it's winning for white. b4 is a last-ditch effort for black to create some complications, and actually just taking the queen wins very easily. But here is the one point in the game where white makes a significant mistake. Knight b5. Somehow she neglected the fact that bishop e5 is very strong for black, and black will emerge victorious if black plays the precise moves here, but her opponent also, probably they were both in time trouble. Her opponent took on b2, trying to create some complications, gave a check with the queen to the king, but the queen just blocks. Now white, still being down material, can even trade the queens, because it's such a dominant position for white. So white takes the knight, trades the queens, and this is an easily winning endgame for white, because white is up a pawn, but also this bishop is stuck, and white converts really flawlessly, trades some more material, takes another pawn, and takes another one, and is just easily winning. The knight jumps, and the pawn advances, and it's going to queen soon, and here black resigned the game. So an impressive victory over one of the former FIDE World Chess Champions. So the next player has a very interesting story as well. Let's take a look at year 2012 in the history of chess. Judit Polgar is still the strongest female chess player, and she's still not retired. She retired in 2014, I think. So she's competing in the TradeWise Gibraltar tournament, finishing with 7 points out of 10 games. And for the first time in 22 years, she lost a classical chess game to a female. That female's name was Hou Yifan, and she's the strongest ever female chess player to come out of China. Hou is considered by a large margin the best chess player of the currently active generation of females. Her peak rating was 2686, so close to the 2700 mark that denotes the super grandmasters, the creme de la creme, the top of the top. So her peak position was top 60 in the world, men and female alike. She became a grandmaster at 14 as well, even a little bit younger than Judit Polgar. But she treats chess as a hobby. She just decided, okay, I became the world chess champion among females. She did this several times. She won matches against her top competitors. But then she decided, okay, I'll be a professor at Shenzhen University in China. I like my life. I don't want to grind endlessly. And Kramnik, the famous world chess champion among men, said that she has huge potential, but she needs to treat chess as work, not as hobby, to excel and to become even greater. But she decided that she can just treat it as a hobby. Sometimes she plays some online tournaments, but she's not very active. She's still #1 rated in the world. You can see the ratings, the current ratings. The gap is quite big. #2 player in the current rankings, by the way, is the reigning world chess champion Du Wenjun. And she is about to try to defend her title against Tan Zhongyi, who is the contender. And the match has just begun, actually. So I will be following it and probably making some content about it. Do drop a comment if you're interested in it. Du Wenjun is the strongest active player of our time, if we do not count Hou Yifan. She's actually a little bit older even than Hou Yifan. She's 34 years old, Hou Yifan is 31 years old, and I guess that maybe if Hou Yifan continues to be inactive, maybe Du Wenjun can surpass her. We will see. She's a very talented, very creative player, and definitely deserving of the title. But currently Hou Yifan neglects the fight for the title, so the match is played between number 2 and number 3 in the world among women. We will see. Still, Wenjun is dominant in female chess. Currently, she won the championship already 4 times. She defeated Tan Zhongyi first, then she won the knockout event, then she defeated Alexandra Goryachkina from Russia, and she defeated Lei Tinzhe from China as well. So this match, if she wins, then she will be a 5-time world chess champion in classical, like Magnus Carlsen. We will see. We will see if she continues her chess achievements. Thank you for watching. Do stay tuned for further episodes on this channel. See you.